Donald Trump is stepping back into the Oval Office, and the world is watching to see how he'll tackle a mountain of pressing issues. From escalating global tensions to domestic challenges, his agenda is packed. Yet, amidst all this, Trump has carved out time to meet with TikTok CEO Shou Zi Chew, aiming to prevent a potential ban on the popular app.
President-elect Trump met with the CEO of TikTok as the social media app faces a ban in the U.S. TikTok is now hoping the Supreme Court will stop the ban from taking effect next month.
Trump said he has a warm spot in his heart for TikTok as the social media company faces a ban in the U.S.
I have a warm spot in my heart for TikTok because I won youth by 34 points. There are those that say that TikTok has something to do with that.
Let's break down the critical matters demanding the president's attention. The conflict continues to destabilize Eastern Europe with global implications for security and energy supplies. Ongoing hostilities, including the situation involving Israeli hostages held by Hamas, require delicate diplomacy. Trump has pledged to impose a 10% tariff on Chinese goods by February 20th, potentially escalating trade tensions. His plans for a 25% tariff, citing issues like drug trafficking and illegal immigration, could disrupt North American trade relations.
Trade talks with China this week have not resulted in a deal. Instead, the president says he'll be ordering a new round of tariffs.
Well, that ceasefire appears to be over, and this is an abrupt escalation of this trade war between the United States and China. The president has announced a 10% tariff on $300 billion worth of Chinese goods. These are new tariffs, so these are goods that had not previously been tariffed. And the administration really has gone out of its way to try to only put tariffs on things that people aren't going to notice right away. But with this $300 billion worth of tariffs, people will notice this. This is the kind of stuff that you would probably buy at a store like Walmart or Target, Apple products, things like that, because they're simply running out of goods that are more parts and supplies, those sorts of things.
Addressing inflation and ensuring economic growth remain top priorities, implementing policies to manage border security and immigration reform, navigating public health concerns, including vaccine policies and pharmaceutical pricing. Amid these significant issues, Trump met with TikTok CEO Shou Zi Chew to discuss the app's future in the U.S. Previously, a law was passed requiring TikTok's parent company, ByteDance, to divest from the app by January 19, 2025, due to national security concerns. TikTok's appeals have been denied, and the Supreme Court's intervention is pending. This meeting indicates a potential shift in policy, considering Trump's earlier stance advocating for a ban.
President-elect Trump asking the Supreme Court to pause banning TikTok before a law takes effect next month. It comes as TikTok makes a final plea of its own.
Today, both TikTok and the Biden administration made their best case to the justices in dueling briefs that were ordered and expedited by the court ahead of oral argument in the case 2 weeks from today. TikTok says the ban violates the First Amendment's guarantee to freedom of expression. The Biden administration says TikTok and its Chinese parent company pose a serious threat to national security. President-elect Trump took the rare move of filing his own brief, telling the court to leave it to him to strike a deal that will save the app.
Is focusing on TikTok an appropriate use of the president's time, given the array of pressing issues? TikTok contributes significantly to the U.S. economy through advertising revenue and employment. A ban could set a precedent affecting digital expression and platform access. Critics argue that the app poses security risks due to data privacy issues. With global conflicts and domestic challenges, some believe presidential focus should be elsewhere. Trump on Monday suggested he might take a different approach with the popular platform, but has not detailed what that approach might look like. You know, I have a warm spot in my heart for TikTok because I won youth by 34 points. And there are those that say that TikTok has something to do with it, Trump said earlier Monday at a wide-ranging press conference, his first since the election. The platform is one step closer to facing a ban in a matter of weeks unless it can convince Chinese parent company ByteDance to sell and find a buyer. ByteDance has previously indicated it will not sell TikTok. A federal appeals court unanimously upheld the ban in a ruling earlier this month that said the government had a national security interest in regulating the platform in the United States. If the Supreme Court does not intervene, the ban would take effect a day before Trump takes office.
The Supreme Court has decided to hear TikTok's appeal of a new law that would force its parent company to sell the app or shut it down. The law passed with overwhelming support over fears China is using TikTok to spy on Americans. The hearing is scheduled for early next month.
So the first thing that happens is all the lawyers at DOJ and all the lawyers at TikTok who've been briefing this case just had their holidays totally ruined. The Supreme Court opted to hear this case very, very fast, and they've set a sort of unprecedented briefing schedule to make that happen. Now, there's 2 hours of oral argument set for January 10th. The Supreme Court set this schedule with the appearance that they're going to try to resolve the case before January 19th, which is the date that the law would require TikTok to go dark in the United States, unless the Supreme Court stops it from going into effect.
So, what do you think? Is President Trump's engagement with TikTok a strategic move, or should his attention be directed toward more pressing global and domestic issues? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more insights into the decisions shaping our world. This is What's the Gossip, bringing you the stories that matter. See you next time.